Yes.
Yes.
And I know there is no PowerPoint availability, so I made a tangible
That's
copy.
fine.
Works too. Okay, so this is mine. I've got my notes.
Give me 3 or 4 of them.
I don't know how many to make. I need 10.
That's more than enough.
Okay.
What's your last name, Allison?
Nesnick. N-E-S-N-I-C-K. I did put that on the front,
Just look at it sounds.
just in case.
Okay. All right.
Yes. I said, I can't find anybody. And I know I talked to Randy. Okay.
I forgot to say, it's okay.
Yeah, little tidbits of data. So basically, I had this concept because of this wonderful woman who I put a nice big huge picture of her in here. Bert was such an amazing woman, and I even put a little just blurb about some of the stuff that she's done around with the county. But I was really saddened by her passing. She had done so much for us at the library, and she does so much around the county. And knowing that unless you went to her memorial or unless you did something specific, nobody would know who she was, and nobody would know like how important that she's kind of been to Harris County. So I had a concept because she loved gardening, but not everybody has a green thumb. So what we thought of was kind of doing this little a memorial bench that the Friends would want to purchase and have as our focal point for this little area. And then have little stones, and these are just some examples that I've kind of pulled from the websites that people could actually possibly purchase for their loved ones, and that way they can leave a legacy, for the community as well, that they can come to and they can sit down and know that they're in a safe community area. The whole area, I was kind of calling Bert's Corner. It kind of goes with the library feel, as well as not calling it garden, so knowing that there's not going to be a lot of vegetation to keep up with, etc. And we really wanted just something that could leave a legacy for others that are important in this community. I'm new to Harris County, barely 5 years, still consider it new, but it's already kind of left its mark on me, and that's what I would like to do for some of these other people who are around here who are so important. And we'll never know how hard Bert struggled dealing with her cancer while still boxing books and making sure that the bookstore was going to happen and making sure the new library was priority number 1. So we kind of came up with 2 different options around the property, and I took some pictures. Obviously it's autumn, so it's not beautiful, but one of them is between our parking lot and the drive to the community center. There's 3 trees right there. It's really flat. That's what we really liked about this, that it wouldn't be any kind of a problem to have to put things down and have it roll down, have flooding issues, and Stephanie drew a little diagram for you guys to kind of envision this more. Our second option is right in front of our front windows, which is, it would be a slightly different look, but that's actually where we had that bird, I don't know if you guys saw last year, that was coming and laid its eggs and hatched its hatchlings and then took off. So that's a very important place. It kind of felt like, I should be there for it. So those are the 2 different options, and it already does have stone in front of that window. So we kind of like that aspect of it, because it is basically going to be just grass, rock, if we can do a little bit of landscaping, because I think we all envisioned it to have a little bit of landscaping from the original images from when the library was being built. So those are the 2 options that we really came up with. We are open to more if somebody else has another idea. But basically we're just asking for, because we were told that it's county property, it's a county building, and if we want to do anything like this, we need to make sure that we come forth first to make sure that it is something that is allowable. And if it's not something that you guys even have to deal with, please let me know, because I don't want to keep spreading false information if it's something that's not valid. So I don't want to waste anybody's time. But all we're asking for is, if it is something that I need the approval for approval to go forward with this, gather more information, and also just for some manual laborers to help us with the rocks. That's it.
And that's it. Now this will be maintained by the Friends?
Well, it's basically just going to be the grass that's already being maintained, the bench, and then the rock bed behind it or next to it, depending on which one. And that's pretty much it. So if we can get the weed tarp down, there's going to be no weeds growing. We're not going to be planting anything else that would be considered to be something that we'd have to clip, or we'd have to spray for, or there would be nothing extra with it. And that's why I went with rocks instead of trying to do a beautiful garden, which I would love to do, but my thumbs are not green for everything. I can grow peace lilies and pineapples, and that's not gonna be practical for Harris County. So yeah, so it would be very low maintenance. If anything, it would be just spraying off a bench and, you know, just picking up little weeds that we have popping up normally in that area anyway.
I think it's things like this that make every building and county property special.
I do not like it.
I like the idea. I don't know what our ordinance says. Nancy, do you know?
Yeah, it's nothing.
They wouldn't even.
No, because it's not an accessory building, it's not a pertinent.
And it's not permanent.
No, it's just it's a garden.
It's rocks and a bench. There's no electric needed, nothing needs to be watered. It really is the most lowest maintenance thing I could think of, besides just putting a plaque on a wall. But being that it was Bert, and I want to do this in Bert's honor, I think she'd want to be there and having something that was still aesthetically pleasing and making you want to go outside for that extra minute, because we don't have anything outside our ranch besides the back area where we have the rocking chairs and the pigtails that overlooks like the septic. So this kind of gives it a little bit of a beautification factor, and maybe bring some other people out that haven't been there just to find out what this thing is, because there isn't anything like it.
How much would the rocks cost?
Which rocks? The
That's what
memorial rocks?
I'm just reading where it says the cost of the rock plus a small charge
Yes.
greatly benefit. Yeah.
So the rocks that are pictured there are just some examples. They start at about $25 a piece. They can go up to $50 depending on how fancy you want it to be. But my thought was since Friends works with First Foundation, if we can do a $25 rock with a $35 purchase, that pays for one child for a year to get First Foundation, get covered completely. And I don't think asking about $60 for something that's a memorial to somebody for the county is that much of a difference. But I think it will also help to maintain the ones that go, I only have $1, I just want to put something there. It kind of gives it that look of, this is one company that we're using, so everything will be uniform. Everything will kind of go together with it. If you would like to purchase a rock, you have to go through this way to do it. And that way we do get that money going towards the Friends for the First Foundation. And it's still something that can continue on in Bert's honor with literacy and bringing everything together for it.
I think that's a good idea.
And we're still pricing out the other stuff.
I think it's very nice. I like the idea.
I know we had, it's a great idea. The only comment I had on the first option, that to me would be more of a traffic
Yes.
safety issue. The one in front of the window would seem like it would be better.
It is a
spot.
better spot.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know Stephanie's only concern was that there's rocks in front of the library already. That's what that strip is right there.
Yeah.
But bringing people to that area, is that going to entice them to pick up those rocks and do something stupid with the ginormous glass window? That's the only thought that she had with that. But so far we haven't had issues. But we haven't had people intentionally going over there except for the Easter egg
Well,
hunt.
if the landscaping is done right, they shouldn't, you would think they would not, well, I know you got 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds.
Yes, you would think. And like I said, we're open to other ideas of locations for it. There was another spot that was kind of, when you're walking up, well, you have the picture. I love this picture, by the way. That's unphotoshopped. I took that with my phone one of the first nights we were open. And it's just like, I just fell in love with my branch that day. On the left-hand side, where we have the jasmine planted, there's only a little snippet of land, but it's right by the drive. And that's the only other place I could think of that was not close to a glass window, but would still be right as you're approaching the building. It would still be, you know, Bert's Corner, but it's not very practical for actually going out there and sitting and having your kids go there. But we're open to ideas, because we don't know what the county has planned for our other areas as well, so we're trying to be cordial with that.
Well, I don't have a problem with it.
No, I think putting it in front of the window is the best place, because I think there, you put it there, that's more room where it's not a safety hazard, but you can actually have outdoor reading and you can do more with it than if you did it
Instead of sitting in the
between.
parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if you did it between, then you got cars going back and forth.
Yes.
If you put it here, I think that's the best place for it. And I have a 5-year-old grandson, and it doesn't matter what you do, they're gonna pick up rocks.
They will.
But, you know, most of
Well,
them.
he's not looking what through the window.
No, that's what I'm saying, most of them will
No,
know,
purpose, yeah.
especially, you know, where they are, because most of them wanna read.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So I think that's a good spot.
And potentially we could even have, since it is that longer strip,
Mhm.
if we wanna do something between these two trees, and in the future, we wanna do something between those two trees, it kinda gives us a space to kinda
Mhm.
spread out, as opposed to the one that's by the parking lot where you're kind of, this is our space, this is it.
Right, because you never know, you might get so many memorial stones, we have to expand. I mean, so that's gonna be a good spot.
You may do.
Right, I mean, that'd be a good spot right there.
You may get quite a few,
Yeah.
but we don't have to do anything, do we? We'll
There's
just
a consensus.
Okay. I don't see. a
No-
problem.
no
I don't see a very
objections.
nice idea.
No objections.
And I did it without crying.
Thank you, Alice.
Absolutely. All right, thank you so much. Anything else I need to do, sign, say hi, hello, Merry Christmas.
Yes, thank you. Good idea.
Thank you,
Good idea.
and have a
Thank
good
you.
Thanksgiving.
Thanks, you too. I have two things, can I run through those real quick?
Someone can take a picture of that.
The Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, came by last week, they called me and said, can you be at the commission office at 1:15? And I said, yes. That was the extent of it. So when he came by mainly to see Sherelle. And he said that there were two things that he mentioned. One was storage. She's probably gonna have to have some more storage. Paper ballots have to be stored for a minimum of 2 years. Now, she'll have 100 screens, 100 scanners, and then she'll have 18 of the printers, and then the.
How many printers?
18, and then the container you drop your ballot in, he said, looks like a big black garbage can. So she'll have very many of those. So he said that was the one thing, and was storing the paper ballots, so we don't have any choice. We
And they have to be in, climate control.
He didn't say that.
She's got a storage area over where she keeps the machines when they're not being
Is it
used in the
climate control?
courthouse. Yeah.
That's a lot of pieces of paper.
It is a lot.
Yes.
And he said the decision had not been made how long to store it, but he was going to, his suggestion was gonna be for 2 years to store those paper ballots, so. But he said you don't have a choice. Okay. The other thing that I had, and there's a young man that lives in Catawba, Harry's in your district, Jason Powers, he actually works for Columbus Water Works. And when I was at a meeting one day, Jason told me you'd been talking to Brian. Jason's father-in-law has 57 acres. Jason would like to do a starting out small winery and vineyard. But we don't have any ordinances that allow that.
Right.
I will tell you that I know of one counselor from Columbus and one real estate agent are pushing him hard to get him to locate in Muskogee. He doesn't want to do that. He said, I live in Harris County, my family's from Harris County, and I want to locate here if I can. But
Is
if
that
I
what
can't,
ordinances say you can sell what you grow?
I don't know. Yes, it is.
Agricultural, yeah, if it's
Would it be
agricultural.
agricultural?
I don't know.
Except when it comes to alcohol. That may be a slight issue, but that's an easy amendment to an existing
And
ordinance.
that's all
So
we need to do.
if we have to do an
Now,
ordinance, we can
he talked
easily
to
find
Brian
it.
about doing a text amendment, but I don't know anything about the details. I don't know anything.
So it would be, could be considered manufacturing, if you were manufacturing wine? I don't think so. It'd be like growing grapes and making jelly,
Right.
and selling the jelly at a roadside stand. I
Mm,
mean,
well,
that's a simplification, other than the alcohol piece.
Other than the fermentation process,
I
yes.
know, you know, I'm trying
It
to
shouldn't
think.
be, it should be an easy fix, either with the alcohol ordinance and or the zoning, so they match, they're consistent, so it shouldn't be a difficult thing to find. And I'm sure there are other counties that have the same thing, so.
Well, I can tell you in North Georgia, it is a huge.
Oh, I know.
Huge.
Well, they're all around us, right?
But he can't
We
Yeah.
got one
bring
just over the
other
line in
wines
True County.
in.
Right, if he sells his own.
He can only sell his own wine, and
And that's
that's
how
bring
he-
other stuff
That's
in
way
Right,
right
and that's
now.
what he wanted, that's what
with the
he
current
shared
ordinance.
with me that he
Yeah.
wanted to do.
Okay.
Because I'd like to have a
So-
fruit stand on my property, but I can't grow enough to to have enough, but I can't bring it in from the farmer's market.
Yeah, and that's, he
Unless I
told me,
rezone
he
it.
said, I want, and I think that they're sweetening the pot out of Muskogee.
Real-
But he said, I don't wanna go down there unless I have to.
So let me ask you this, is he planning to have events like tastings and things like that
He is
there?
not that far
Most,
yet.
most wineries do.
Yes,
Yeah.
So-
which is another piece.
But he
Yeah.
said, I'm not that far, all I wanna do is, he said, I'm gonna start small, just basically see how it goes. And he said, my father-in-law has 57 acres, and he even told me where, but I can't remember what road it was on.
Start searching for ordinances.
He's got it for sale, my father-in-law has it for sale now, but he said if you can get the approval to do it, you can do it on those 57
So I'm
acres. So,
searching, I'll let y'all know.
okay, that'll be good. And then my other thing on Ellerslie Park, remember the little girl that brought the wagon with the trash in it, Kelly Reynolds? The one you said reminded you of your daughter, Susan.
Yeah.
Kelly Reynolds has met with me several times. This is a young lady that's extremely bright. She has loads of ideas. She's probably ahead of the time. But what Kelly wanted to do, was she was talking about doing a firefly park out at Ellerslie Park. And so she got with a biology professor out of Columbus. We met with him a couple of times, and I said, what do you have to do? It would cost next to nothing. We already have it there. You need logs, you need tall grasses, and you need some wetlands, some water. And so Brian went with us out to Ellerslie Park the other week while Randy was on vacation. It would be straight across the lake from the lodge, where the lodge is. And the professor also mentioned, he said you could get a few butterfly plants and even have butterfly and fireflies. But he's an expert on, I mean, there's like, the fireflies along the ground are not the same kind as the ones you see in the trees and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, it would cost us nothing. We've already approved the walking trail around the lake, which would go right through there. The only thing, if we did it, yeah.
It sounds interesting. How late is that park open?
Well, that's what I was about to say.
Dark.
And you wouldn't have to have it open every night, you know, and you wouldn't even have to walk through there. You could always sit across the lake and see them.
You can have special events there.
Yeah.
You could have special events. The
Yeah,
other
sounds
thing
right.
she brought up was, and we could play off that. We could have maybe, and these were just things she was throwing out, a Firefly 5K, or, you know, to bring people in. And that was her idea. So I told her I would bounce it off y'all and see what y'all, I think it'd be beautiful. I'd go out there and sit, you know.
Sit on the back porch and watch them.
That's right, we'll get set over there and watch them. But anyway, this young lady has a ton of ideas, a ton, and she's a real go-getter. She spent 9 years as an air traffic controller in the Army. Her husband's in the Army. She has 2 small kids. She's going to school. I mean, she's just all over the place, but she's a real delight to talk to. And I like the idea. And especially, we already have the logs there. You need pine trees. You have the logs there. You have, you know, the tall grasses that has to be about that high.
You
And
don't
I,
have to have any special upkeep, you
No.
know, where we'd have
You
to
leave it
train,
alone.
where we'd have to train our people.
no.
Cause I'd hate for them to get the
Don't have to
lawnmower and
Well,
just, you
that's
know.
right. I don't
Say,
think,
What
if
we
we
do,
cross
you
the
know,
Don't
lake,
put Roundup on that area.
Yeah, don't round up it, don't, you know, we're trying to let this grow.
If we were to do that, would it require safety reasons to have any kind of like a lighted path to that area if it's on the far side of the lake? I mean, if it's dark and people are walking to the far side to look at fireflies and they fall in the lake, I mean, I feel like that's kind of on them, but what kind of liability is that?
It is a primitive path,
Right.
gravel and.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
sounds
put
like a
little
great
solar
idea.
lights
I
out
just
there.
That's
don't
what
worry
I was
about
gonna
those
say,
things.
solar
Yeah,
lights will
lights would be
work.
sufficient, I
Yeah.
guess.
But there's a perfect spot, and, on this side of the lake, if you're looking at the lodge, it's just to the right of the lake, that all you have to do is put a bench or two there.
Oh, on the lodge side of the lake.
Well, the
Or-
fireflies, the
Oh,
fireflies
beyond
are on the
okay.
opposite side.
Could you see them across the lake, all the way across the
yeah.
lake?
Mhm. He said it would be a perfect spot. Perfect spot. So I throw that out there because I told Kelly, she said, I'd really like to come to the commission and talk about it. And I said, well, let us do it in our quote-unquote work session and see first.
No, and they do, they have firefly and dragonfly solar lights that you can put around.
Yes, they did.
I mean, so you could actually enhance it a little bit with
Mhm.
those sort of lights that actually look like the fireflies, which might actually help attract.
And I'll tell you something else, you can attract fireflies with flashlights. I didn't know that, but I found that in just, just on,
Yeah.
little flashlights about like this, and you get them, and you can attract fireflies with flashlights.
Interesting.
And he also said they're becoming extinct, which I did not know.
Because
But
too
the
many,
darker
too many
it
kids are
is-
catching them and put them in the jar.
In the jar, we used to do
Just a light
that.
on the way through the
But,
jar.
anyway, I promised her I'd bring it up and see what y'all thought about that.
Objection? Okay.
And of course, this is down the road a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna get the park cleaned up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's not that far off.
so,
Sounds interesting, sounds like one more attraction to help get people out to the park. and enjoy it.
something, yeah.
Something unique.
It is something unique, and
So-
North Carolina, they have a firefly park, and people come hundreds of miles just to go to this firefly in the summertime.
I wanna go back to the voting
Oh, yeah.
issue. I just want to make sure you all know that if things don't go well, the election, who's gonna be blamed for it.
Yeah.
So, look in the mirror if you.
Randy?
Yeah, we're gonna bring Randy, but, Sherelle. But, I just wanna make sure we have enough paper for those printers at each precinct.
She's,
That, and that's why I wanted her to come tonight to just talk to us about
And the reason she
process.
didn't, she has
She's
not
training.
been through training yet. And she said, I'm not comfortable
But-
coming.
she could be at the next plan, y'all have another one
Okay.
before election.
Yeah.
And those are the things I wanna know,
Yeah.
how is she going
She's-
to ensure we have enough paper, enough ink,
Yeah,
enough-
she's already,
all of the things, and I know that's what they're training them on, but I want us to have at least had that conversation with her prior to the election.
and we're gonna have to pay for all that
That's
stuff.
right.
They're not-
And-
Oh, that was one other thing I
That's not
forgot, which is, but one other thing, and this is huge, I'm sorry, I'm glad you said that. And I had it written down, I just didn't read it. He said there is also the possibility of a grant, $10,000 grant. They're working on it now to help counties with the maintenance expenses, which is good.
Well, we need to make sure our IT people are standing by in case there's a printer jam or a scanner, something, or,
Will our
Have
IT guys
people-
be
No,
I don't know.
allowed to
It
work
was-
on this
with the
equipment?
other equipment, there's somebody from Kennesaw or somewhere that comes and they're on standby.
yeah.
So I don't,
From the
Well,
company?
yeah.
As long as we know all of that, I want us to know all of those things, those
And he said
details.
they are now, they are now certifying all those machines, the company. He said, I'm gonna tell you where the location is, but if you tell anybody, we'll have to kill you, cause I never reminded you. And he said that the company's going through the now certifying, and then his office is gonna go back. He said they'll be certified twice by the time you get them go. Cause you're right, it's
It's gonna be huge.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, especially, you're gonna have to, I've used the machine, and you're gonna have to train the people, because you gotta
Yeah.
do this, and then you gotta take this paper, and then you gotta come over here and do,
Well, I had
You know.
someone who is always in tune with things say to me, well, I'm glad we're gonna walk out with the receipt. I
No,
said,
you're
you're not gonna
not.
walk out with a
You're
receipt.
not.
That's your ballot. It's gonna,
Yeah,
you're
please
not
don't walk
counted
out.
unless you put it in that
Right.
box.
And
Yeah.
Sherelle mentioned that. She said, I'm gonna have
You
somebody
gotta have additional people. I
by the
think.
door
Mhm.
to make sure they don't walk out.
right.
Yeah,
And people have got to be guided from
Yeah.
the ballot to the scanner, to
To
the
the-
door
right.
without walking out with it.
Right.
Oh, and also without just talking and discussing it. Cause you're gonna do this machine, and you're gonna have to come over here to do, you know. it's
You have a
gonna be-
line there and a line over there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be
you're gonna get two voting
quite
stickers.
challenging, I'm afraid.
You're gonna get a sticker when you do the machine and a sticker when you put your ballot in. You get two voting stickers. I voted twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got plenty right here.
So that's
But
all
I
I
just
had.
want her to come to us and
Well,
have
she
her
will, that
reassure
next one.
us that she has
She'll be
all
next.
of those things in hand. that she
I'm
needs.
concerned where we're gonna put all that stuff.
That's true, that's gonna, storage is gonna be, I think. the
Cause
big
it sure
issue.
can't go in this building.
Well, when the new ones come in, they're supposed to be taking the old ones out. So that's gonna leave a little space, but not
You have
too
to have
much.
some more pieces.
Yeah, because they're not all one, it's not all one unit.
No,
Okay, so she'll be at the next one.
Okay.
Back to the butterfly thingy, or y'all
Firefly.
just wanna continue, yeah, butterfly, flutterflies, whatever.
Flutterflies.
You still, you just wanna take it into consideration, or you?
I think she should
any of-
develop a written plan for us to look at, just so we know. I mean, I'm completely for it, but so we don't know the details.
Okay,
well, I don't
And
know
is she
that
gonna be
there's,
the one to do it? I
she
mean,
will
it's
work,
great to have ideas, but who's gonna do it?
the professor's also offered his services, so.
So that we know all that. Who's gonna do it? What
It's
does
a-
it
it's
entail?
like
How big is
a
it?
plot of land, X by Y feet.
Yeah,
Just leave it natural right here, maybe bring in a log here, bring in a
more
feature here,
explanation.
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
and just build, and make it part of the master plan.
Okay,
But I think you can assure her, I don't see anybody that's against the
I do-
concept.
I do agree with Andrew. We need to make sure that somehow it doesn't end up being something happens, trip, fall in the dark, and we end up being liable for it, which,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for it. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think.
But it might be something where we do need to put like solar light, just so we know the path is marked. Hey, go this way, not take a right and go out in the woods somewhere.
All right, I'll get with her and
so
ask her to do
take it
that.
under consideration and ask
Yeah,
that she does
ask
that.
her.
Okay, just wanna make sure what I put in the notes.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, you're up.
Okay, on the county logo, it's not that I'm, was crazy about the logo. The reason I asked is because, you know, we've been talking about Brandon and Brandon, Harris County and all that. And I've noticed that we have some cars, trucks, vehicles that have the new logo, some that have the old logo. The waterworks has a different logo, the sheriff has a different logo, the recreation has a different logo.
Yes.
And I'm thinking,
EMS.
yeah, EMS, I was going, if we're supposed to be having this logo as our logo, you know, why are we having everybody else having different logos if we're trying to brand Harris County? If we're, you know, 'cause that's one of the things the Chamber of Commerce is talking about, we've talked about it, you know, in the comprehensive plan. So, you know, do we need to tell those other people to use this logo? Or do we need to try to incorporate, I mean, you know, and I'm not sitting there, I'm not trying to be a dictator, but y'all, you know, I just got to think about it. Now, and I will say this, I honestly do not feel that this logo with this, oak leaf really conveys Harris County, to me. No, I'm not, to me it doesn't. Now, I'm not saying it's bad, but to me, you know, you know, it doesn't do it, but I would just, you know, that's where I came from with the logo. I was sitting there thinking, well, we're trying to brand, but we have everybody using,
As the vehicles, as new ones come in, or work's being done, they take the old ones off and put the new ones on
What
as
is
far
the
as.
new one? What are you saying?
That one.
This is-
The old one has the county outline.
county outline of
Yeah,
Harris
okay.
County.
And some of our older vehicles still have
Yeah,
that.
I've seen.
But you got some departments, like you said, that are not under the control of a constitutional officer who have their own logos, which most EMS or ambulances and definitely sheriff's office have different logos, so.
And we're finding out that they want their own email system too. The constitutional officers.
Just one,
Oh, two.
who else? Well, Sheriff will.
We're working through that process very
Well,
gingerly.
since you were on the committee, and I'm not trying to be ugly, how did we come up with the oak leaf? I mean, not, like I said, and the only reason I think that is because when I think of Harris County, the first thing that comes to my mind is pine.
Pines.
Right, not oak, although I live out at Oak, you know, we have property at Oak Mountain. So, I mean, I get it, but I was just
I
wondering,
think you know, a lot of the pines you see are planted pines too.
but, yeah, well, a lot of the pines are
But,
planted by FDR had them planted.
Well, Bo Calloway was the president of the chamber, and I was on the board, and he had a committee, I really wasn't. He had a committee who designed this. We liked it. We liked the where growth and nature thrive, because we were having the same conversations we have today about growth and protecting the environment and yet having controlled growth. And we wanted to not deter growth, but focus on nature. And so I don't know where the oak leaf came from, but we all liked it. I think it's pretty. I like it.
There were 3 or 4 choices to choose from.
Yeah, we had several choices.
How old is this?
It's very old.
Danny,
It's
I mean, it's
25 years
all over.
old.
25?
No.
You sure?
It's been a long time.
Linda Dawson was on the Development Authority when that
When
happened.
that happened?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's.
Well, it was only registered officially in 2018.
Well, that's
Yeah.
because of other issues that were going on with the use of it. But it was,
They don't
It's
it's been a
properly-
while, but it hadn't been 20, I
Yeah.
think it's been 20 years.
And you know the library has a new one.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
If
they're
we're-
not ours.
I
The
know they're
library's-
not,
The
but I'm
building
just
is,
saying,
not them,
yeah.
yes.
Right, well, I mean, and that was my point, is that we've been talking about branding through the comprehensive plan, chamber and all that. And, you know, and she even stated, you know, nobody knows where Harris County is. Well, if we got 12 different logos out there, they're still not gonna know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't care if the EMS has their own logo for there, but
Somewhere on it should have that.
somewhere on there, it should have this.
You know, the chamber developed it, but Danny was on the chamber board also and said, okay, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it countywide, and we did.
It was mainly done for development authority
Yeah, it
purposes,
was.
and then it's
Tourism
morphed
and
into,
development.
yeah.
I'm not opposed
Well,
to
we can
changing
get,
it.
we can get the departments that are not complying with it to make sure they incorporate it in their logo if they're gonna have a different logo.
Is the chamber about to do, new logo for the chamber?
I don't know, they're talking about doing that new website that didn't have Harris County in it, it said West Georgia. And that's really what made me start thinking about it, is that, you know, we were talking about it. We need to brand up as what we are. Harris County, you know, and like everybody right now knows that the H and the C is Harris County
Yeah.
school system. And every school uses it, even the elementary schools or the rec teams use that HC for athletics. You know, and that's what got me thinking about this, is that, you know, our EMS, our waterworks, our recreation department, you know, I don't, if they have their own, they still, somehow, this needs to be incorporated so they know they're actually part of Harris County, Georgia, not Harris County, Texas.
Yeah.
Or wherever else. I mean, that was the whole reason I put the logo on there, is because we've just been talking so much about it.
And that was the plan, even back then, was for everybody to use the same logo.
Yeah.
I mean, and I even thought
Not in the
of,
school district, I mean,
yeah,
all the county offices, the chamber, the cities would have that somehow incorporated. I know, but you know.
but see, and I actually thought about if we did try to do a different logo, because I was like you, I thought it was fairly
Yeah,
older.
so-
If we did do a new logo, I thought we could put it out as
Be about that old.
like a county contest, like how the school system did for their new motto, which is one team, one dream, and all everybody submitted. We could do it as a county contest and then pick the best 3, and then the commissioners could decide what the one is. You know, and I'm not saying I'm here wanting to change it or anything, I'm like, it didn't make any sense that we have a logo that seems like a lot of our departments don't use when we're trying to be our county.
We can go ahead and get the old logo off all vehicles.
And letterhead, that's.
The letterhead, well, that's easy, but I mean, getting the old logo off and putting this one on at least.
The old
And and some departments use like a different letterhead, and that can be all consistent.
Well, it's,
I'll
again,
be
it's
honest with you, I kinda
EMS.
like the old logo with the
911.
outline of the county. But that's just me, because when I see that outline, I know I'm home. But, you know, I mean, I'm okay with this, other than oak leaf just kinda threw me. But anyway, that was the whole thing with the brand, so.
So we need to get
Well, if you use
consistency.
pine, you have to have a little.
Yeah.
Fine, tone.
Right there, pine, so.
But, you know, the main thing I just thought was just trying to make us all consistent.
Consistent. Okay,
I like consistency.
well, we can get most of that done. What about the PRD, Becky?
Okay, as I said last night, I don't really know the feelings of everybody on the PFD. And I'd like to know what how, you know, the ideas and what other folks think before I vote on anything. So, if y'all have any ideas you wanna share, I'd appreciate it.
Well, I've heard all of the, comments from 20, 25 years ago, when we sat down and talked about, lot sizes, those kinds of things. And all of your planners and developers and will say to you, you're using up all your land with these 2-acre lots, using up all your land. If you really want to conserve land, you're gonna do more dense population. And that was what brought about the whole discussion of having the Grove and other more densely populated areas. And that's, you know, it all sounds really good. Personally, I think, so we heard what people thought about it, didn't we?
Yeah.
So if you allow PRD where there are sewer, where there is sewer, or where sewer can be brought in, then what stops that development on the county line that has sewer, the next development connecting to that, the next development connecting to that, until pretty soon we look like North Columbus on all of our borders that have sewer around our cities. And do we really want that? And personally, I don't. But I know the arguments about the density and you're using up your land.
Well, and I think too, we had, that whole process with the most recent one was really put Harris County in a bad light. And certainly gave rise to an awful lot of chatter on social media, a lot of bad facts. And I think if we were to, first of all, we're not in a position to do anything yet, because we really don't know. And I think with this bringing in a firm to work with us on planning and zoning and all of that, allows us to look at a comprehensive plan or set of regulations for the county, and PRD would be just part of that. I'm not saying I'm against the PRD. I think it's probably too densely populated as it now sits.
I was a proponent of the Grove, and I still am.
Yeah. I am too. I mean, I think probably something along those lines is needed, but I don't see that we need to bring in a lot of. Frankly, it opens the door for a lot of the things that we try not to get into, because if you go with, you're going to create maybe more demand for the schools, more demand for services, and they're going to require, so we're going to do that with growth anyway, but it has the potential of overloading an area. I think we need to look with context as to how best we do handle that, do it as a total unit and not just specifically work on one unit of PRD, when that tends to be more, probably bring out more ill feeling, and I think we can avoid some of that if we put it off and have it included in that, and have the advice of the group of quote experts that are coming in to share with us and help us develop what we may need. So I mean, those are some of my reasons for wanting to do it.
And I think if we go to a more densely populated subdivision type development, that we don't do 1/4 acre lots.
Okay.
I mean, I think, 3/4 to an acre with sidewalks and street lights and all of that creates then a community.
Yeah.
Not just all of these little houses on these tiny little lots.
Yeah, I tried to listen to some of the volunteer firemen, and they talked about, you know, and again, these are just numbers they present to us, and we can just take them for what they are and hope it's factual. I mean, I haven't done enough research on it, but supposedly on a quarter acre lot, the setbacks, the houses closer together, and they needed more water flow. And right now, Harris County cannot provide that water flow, so there's a fire issue, so therefore, maybe our citizens aren't safe, so I think we need to keep our citizens safe. So I think, I do agree with you, I think a quarter acre is kind of, in my opinion, that's a little bit small. I think, you know, I've tried to drive through a lot of developments in Columbus and look at them and get ideas, and look at other developments in Noonan
Go
on
right
Google
here,
Earth.
Sweet Bay.
Okay, and that's another one of mine. So I think we need to look at, if we are looking at quarter acre lots, I think we need to find the factual information for water flow if there is a fire. If there is more of a demand for water flow, then we need to look at having, we need to be able to provide that water, and then the developer needs to, he has to pay for all the sewer and all the water lines, no cost to Harris County. Also, a lot of these developments in Columbus, you have a quarter acre lot, you typically have a short, small driveway. So therefore, you end up with a lot of cars parked along the road. So, because I try to drive through there in my truck, I'm winding in traffic, and this is, the last one I was in, it was between 10:30 and 11 o'clock in the morning. Typically, a lot of people would be at work, but I mean, I'm still winding through traffic at a very slow rate just to try to get through there. So if there is a fire in the back and you have that same situation, I mean, it's gonna be hard for any kind of emergency vehicle to get through there. So I think we need to look at any minute detail, the road width, the water flow. I mean, I think there's a lot that really needs to be, you know, looked at if we're gonna do that. And then everybody talks about overloading. If you look at Sweet Bay, you know, right now, and I know you can file for hardship and whatnot, but Park Elementary is the only elementary school that's not at a maximum capacity, but yet you have this development right
And
here. So-
we overbuilt that wing,
Right, okay,
that last wing that we put on
Yeah.
this wing.
okay.
Well, it helped with Park when we built the wing. Then, well, a year or two later, we went to Creekside, so we took some
Took
out.
fifth grade
Yeah.
out
Yeah, took
Yeah.
fifth grade out. If you left fifth grade probably at Park,
and built 10 classrooms.
yeah, you know, so that helped. But I think with the PRD, it's like I said, I'm not opposed to it. I'm really opposed to the quarter acre lots. Y'all know me, I like space. But I do understand that there are elderly people that would rather live in a smaller place where they don't have to deal with cutting the grass and that kind of stuff. I understand that. But to
Then
me,
you're talking patio homes.
right,
really.
right, to me, if we're gonna PRD, not only do we need to look at the water flow, we need to look at the road width, we need to make sure that somebody doesn't come in, build it, and then say, oh, well, I built all these houses, well, I'm sorry, now I can't bring the commercial in. And we need to have something tied in where we get commercial
At a certain percentage.
at a certain percentage and all that, because, you know, to me, the PRD needs to come in and it needs to help the county as well as help the citizens that are going to move in there. You know, we can't, if we sit there and build a lot of subdivisions and we don't get the commercial, we're gonna be in a world of hurt. But we all know we need to
Can't
get.
force people, businesses to come where they want to come.
No.
It's true, but you can help it by allowing the PRD in specific places where you believe that it will be successful.
Yeah,
which
not in
goes
the
back-
back of the subdivision.
Right, which goes back to the Grove. Grove out there at that exit has got a better chance of being successful than the one that was down there off Gray Rock Road.
I do feel like, you know, a lot of people at that meeting complained about it, the majority. But they also mentioned that they wanted their kids to be able to live in Harris County. Well, if we look at that right now, most people who graduate high school, they're gone shortly after high school, even after college, they're not coming back to Harris County. And I think a lot of it has to do with the cost of homes in Harris County right now. So I feel like if we did have an area where, you know, smaller lots, that's gonna,
Well,
could possibly
Smaller lots in a place that's,
cheaper housing.
well, and that where those younger people that probably starting their careers having to work in Muskogee or in Troop or somewhere else, they can get to and from work where it's not, it's a bit of a hassle of when you live out in the middle of Oak Mountain and you're trying to get somewhere. And I'm not talking bad about Oak Mountain, and y'all know I'm not, but I mean, you know, I know what I'm saying, but there's, you know what I'm saying, but there's, you know, sometimes there's not a good way to get anywhere.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's not, that's what I love about it.
Right.
Yeah, we do know that the lots in the Grove are on 2/10 and 3/10 of an acre.
Yeah, but I wasn't here for that.
That was way before you.
That was way before.
You were still in high school.
No, he was
No.
not.
I know.
He just wasn't paying attention.
Andrew
to that
was.
at that point.
Andrew was.
That's right.
Andrew was.
Andrew was.
Well, and the premise really that got the growth started was, all right, it was gonna be our test.
Yeah, that's right.
And it would
I
allow
think we
a
still
more
need to
dense
let it be.
development that would save the rural character, more acreage. It wouldn't save it forever
Right.
if growth continues, which growth will
Right.
continue. But at least it would put it off
And it would have
for a
commercial.
while. And it will have
Have
commercial.
And I think we still need to let that be our test. I think we, our intention was that was gonna come on 10 years ago. By now, we would know the results, but,
But I do think having these professionals come in, they're redoing our ordinances, make sure that, the PRD, they're redoing that, and we have some professionals look at it and say, well, for your area, your county, this is what,
but the bottom line is, we're still gonna have to be the ones
Right.
that adopt it and admit it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're gonna have to tell them what Becky said a while ago, what we want it to look like, so they'll
Right.
know
Oh,
how
yeah,
to develop what they're
absolutely.
doing.
Oh, yeah. No,
I
But
don't
they
know.
will have the
What's on that.
expertise.
Right, that's what I'm saying, we can take their
Give them our
expertise.
thoughts and ideas.
Right, we
And
can-
and some of the things you mentioned, they will know
Right.
what kind of frontage,
That's right.
setbacks you
Yeah.
need and what's safe. They will certainly know it better than we do. We don't have a planner. So, we have to go get information from folks, which I just think it's safer and we're not just knee-jerk reaction on something to get it done and out of the way. It gives us, let's build a solid program that can guide the growth of Harris County as we move forward.
And decide what areas of the county is acceptable for that.
Well,
Now, right there where, Greystone was proposed, if it weren't for the rock quarry, that might be a perfect place.
Yeah.
If it fronted 27 for the
Right.
commercial piece.
Right.
But you gotta turn down that road.
Right. Unless,
All
And
of 27 would
then
be
you got-
developed for his commercial
Yeah, then you
purposes.
got the quarry there, that's, who wants to live across the street from a quarry? Well, people who don't know what it's like to live across the street from an active quarry
right.
would buy those lots,
Mhm.
and then when the quarry starts back up, our phones would be ringing off the hook.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So, there were some big reasons why that was not a good spot.
yeah.
But I don't want us to sit here and push this thing down the road. I want us to make sure that when these people come in doing ordinances, this,
Needs to be a priority.
it needs to be a priority.
And I agree
If
with
they
that.
can work
You
on
know,
it first.
That way we know, because that way, I don't want us to, well, let's just push it down, pass the buck. Well, no, let's get it done so that future generations, we know what we need to do.
They may call it something totally different. It could be a conservation subdivision as opposed to a PRD, which is the same thing.
Part of the discussion, another visit 20 years later now down to Leesburg,
Yeah.
Georgia, and Lee County, and
Right.
see how that's developed. I mean, it was a very interesting journey 20 years ago.
That's right.
And get Prison Man again. You want that?
Rhythm band?
Prison Man.
Oh, prison
Solid
band.
Waste just got a brand new
They're
one.
liable to think
And
we were
used
a work
it.
crew coming in to clean up something.
Hey, we didn't have the bars in.
It is, and I know this is what people don't want, they would love to be able to say, no, leave us alone, just keep us like we are. Unfortunately, most people don't look ahead and say, well, gosh, I'm gonna have to, my taxes are certainly gonna go up a whole lot more than they do now. I mean, if you look at the counties that have the lowest millage rates, I think I mentioned this the other night, most of them are bigger counties because they have the commercial that can fund all of that service. And, a couple of statistics, there are 8, and don't hold me to the exact numbers, but I heard these other night, there are roughly 10 to 12,000 people in Harris County that are working. Of those, 880 some odd live in Harris County, work in Harris County. All the rest of those 10 to 12,000 go elsewhere. We don't have any place for them to work in Harris County. I mean, we got the industrial park, but that's generally,
And I would imagine that of those 850-something thousand, a third of them are teachers. I mean, cause that's the
county
biggest,
employees.
right, county employees, I should say, cause that's our biggest entity is the school
Yes.
and county, working for the county.
Who is the largest employer now? There used to be Callaway's, the chicken plant, and the schools, but I don't know what the order
It
is
might be
now.
the school.
Wayne just gave us.
I thought.
Yeah.
That was
That
just
the
taxpayers.
taxes.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think
But
it's
it would probably
Cook,
be.
and then the school, then the county, yeah.
yeah,
I
that's
think
The
it's
school,
probably
yeah,
about
the school's
right.
probably up very close.
Yeah, they interchanged that
Yeah.
#1 spot.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. I
Okay.
appreciate y'all sharing your opinions because I didn't know anything. So, thank you.
Well, I just think that there's only two ways we can go. Either forward or backwards, but we can't stay the same.
No, you can't.
Right,
It's an
so
impossibility.
that's why,
It's an impossibility.
right, I think it's a good thing we have these professionals that are gonna come in and
Well,
help
and
us.
I think, yeah, and we need, realizing that, and I know we all do, realizing that we have the obligation and the expectation of developing something that ought to be good for quite a few years anyway, if we do it right and build a model to guide us.
Well, the
And
individuals who sat around the table and developed the first zonings for Harris County, people were so mad at them because they're telling us what to do with our property. But those same people today probably, well, I know some, look back and are so thankful for some of the things that they put in
It's
place
for-
because
it's for
it
the
made Harris
protection.
County what it is today.
Zoning is for everybody.
Sure.
Maybe we need some kind of way to spread information about there's so much false information through the PRDs.
Why don't you start a daily
Well,
newspaper?
that's what I'm saying, it may not be called,
Talk about it.
change the name of the
Every other
PRD,
paper story.
shouldn't be called a PRD anymore.
I know a man that could do a
bad.
podcast.
Either way to go.
Maybe they just change the name, that might take some of the pressure off.
Yeah.
And if you don't have this, if you don't have real tiny lots, that's gonna help.
Unfortunately, a lot of people don't even want to be educated.
Yeah.
No, they sure don't.
Okay, membership fees.
Okay, I hate to keep harping on the membership fees, but, I don't know where we are with it. We talked about it the last one, and as you can see on here, we had a few ideas and things, but, I know also at that time, we were having budgets and we were having everything else going on. Like I said, I'm still of the opinion that we built it for the county people, and the county people should, I just have a hard time with charging the county people to use it when we use taxpayer money to build it. I understand that we need to try to have some income so we can, have the upkeep and all of the building, then, that's not really it. I just do think that we need to somehow structure it better, cause I think if we can lower or allow the county people to use it, we might get more use out of it. And we might get more people to come in there that are paying to use the pool, or not use the pool, to use it for birthday parties and use that kind of thing, which might actually generate a little more revenue. I don't know, but we keep harping on it, or I do, but we haven't done anything. That's kind of one of those things I feel like we just keep pushing it down and pushing it down. And I don't know, I don't know, Randy, what do you think?
But it's complicated. It's very complicated. As you can see on our current fee schedule, this is too complicated. This is too much
Oh, my goodness.
for one building. I don't even understand half this. So what we have now,
It's just the front page.
was updated. It has too many options, okay? It's not workable. Does it work? Yeah. Is it workable? No. We get about $57,000 to $60,000 a year in membership fees. Not to be confused with rental fees, or daily fees, or class fees. Just membership fees, $57,000 to $60,000 a year. Okay. So there are four, to me, there's, again, as a government bureaucrat,
Alright, if we're getting that much a year, how much are we spending on it?
Probably
The whole subject.
several,
$20,000.
$300,000 or $400,000. But in that $300,000 or $400,000, a big chunk of that is debt service.
Right. But I'm understanding, we all know around this table that this is not gonna ever be a moneymaker.
Oh, no, it was never intended, nor will it ever be a moneymaker. No, 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 ever, ever. So what we have now is unwieldy, cumbersome, complicated. To me, there's 4 ways to make it simpler. The private business model, when you go to Gold's Gym, which as you can tell, I don't, or Planet
I've heard
Fit.
about it though, huh?
I heard about it, I saw it on TV. Somebody told me about it. But if you go to a private gym, they pay a $25 one-time initiation fee to do the paperwork, set you up, give you the card to be the member, and then you use $15, $20 a month every month that you use it. If you don't use it, you don't pay. If you pay, if you want to use it, it's very simple. An initiation fee, one-time charge, and a monthly fee if you use it. That's a private sector business model. It's a user fee. If you use it, you pay. If you don't use it, you don't. And non-county folks can pay a little bit higher initiation fee and maybe a little bit higher monthly fee. Easy, very easy, very simple, and we could probably recoup the $57,000 to $60,000. That's one business, private business model. Number 2, having no charge. Simply, people who pay their county taxes can walk in there and use it all for free. And anybody outside the county would have to pay a daily fee. And specialized classes are always has a fee, no matter how you cut it.
For county residents as well as outside.
Correct. Everybody pays a fee.
Anything extra over and above the use of the pool,
The gym, the
or
fitness
the
center, and the conference rooms.
well, if they wanted to rent the conference room for their own meeting, that still would be a fee. To
That
me,
could be a separate fee.
yeah.
But take this 2-page document and make it half a page. And then there's a countywide rec fee, similar to a countywide solid waste fee. It's a user fee. You put on the fee, every property taxpayer pays it, like the solid waste fee, and you can walk in. And that will recoup, we could set that fee to recoup the $60,000, $70,000, $100,000. But I would have to have John Taylor look at that, because I have seen other counties charge a recreation fee to go toward recreation.
Kind of like a fire district fee.
And a solid waste fee, and yes, very simple like that. And again, out-of-county folks can pay a higher daily fee. And specialist classes are always at a fee.
So wouldn't doing that take a vote from the citizens?
No. And I didn't let John Taylor look at it, but I think the board can simply, but I'll let the attorney handle it.
Because we had to vote on the solid waste
No.
trash pickup fee.
No,
No, you didn't.
it was simply an ordinance.
It's an
Thou shall,
Yeah.
the county shall have a solid waste fee for everybody in the unincorporated area, not the cities. Well,
They do.
but the cities are part of it too,
Yeah.
so they can be in or out.
Every
so-
household.
No charge, paid by taxpayers' money through general taxes, a daily fee for non-residents, a recreation fee countywide, like the solid waste fee, subject to John Taylor's interpretation and guidance, and a private sector business model. Initiation fee, one-time charge, X dollars per month, that somebody uses it,
What if you use it one day? You pay
$15. One time,
What if
1,000
you use it
times.
30 times.
$15 a month, or $20 a month. Non-county residents pay a higher fee. And specialist classes are always at an additional fee. Keep it real simple, just keep it real simple.
I think you get the most pushback on
Direct.
the fee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because there would be there will be a large number of people in the county, real young ones, older ones, handicapped, that just flat wouldn't use it anyway and would would really push back that they're having to pay.
Yeah, that's right.
Even
Not having a
if,
kid in
even if you
school
just put it as
Like,
$10.
yeah, like they're not having
It's
kids in
not
the
gonna
school
matter.
system.
That's what I'm saying, even if you put it at $5, I think you'd still get a,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
you would.
5 or 10 bucks. But like I said, you know, we call it the community center, because we did built it for our community.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, I just don't think we should charge our county citizens to use it, other than the extra, the special stuff. You know, I agree with all.
Special classes, the rent a conference room
Yeah,
for
all
a day.
that special stuff, I think you should, but just to go in there, cause I wanna go jump in the pool for 20 minutes, or I wanna go walk on that elliptical machine for 15 minutes, you know. You know, well, you should be able to, you're a county citizen, this is a community center for community
Yeah.
people. You know,
You know, it's just,
I mean, we let
my
Rick-
rehabbing my knee, it'd be great, even if I weren't gonna do a full workout, to be able to go in there, hop on that reclining bicycle thing and be able to pedal 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and whatever, and then I'd be gone, and just,
yeah.
and if, you know.
I mean, we already allow our rec departments to use it, I mean, cause we built it as a community also slash rec center, cause we, rec basketball uses it, we have pickleball, we have all kind of other things, you know, well, if we're allowing that, those people are already citizens. Well, then we're not charging our rec basketball to use it, cause they're citizens playing a Harris County Recreational League. Well, we're almost penalizing the citizens that don't play in the recreation league. Hey, we used your tax money to build it, but now we're gonna charge you to have your child play here, or if you wanna come play, we're gonna make you pay. Instead of, you know, it's really where I kinda like the doing away with the fee, but keep everything else going. Or at least do what you're talking about, maybe try at least get this thing from 2 pages down, cause you
It
know.
makes some convincing. And that's
Yeah.
just a nightmare, but
I mean,
And the Silver Sneakers program, I mean, that's great, but not all of the insurance companies that offer that insurance, not all of them cover it, but even if even for county members, if you had free, they could, and had Silver Sneakers, then at least they could do that little bit that would allow the rec center to get money from Silver
Right.
Sneakers program.
Because when you join Silver Sneakers, that means you can go to any rec center wherever.
Any rec,
So
that's right.
that means anybody outside, they wouldn't come in having to pay a higher fee, because the Silver Sneakers would take care of that.
Okay, is there a consensus?
But I agree with you, I think the fire
Yeah.
rec district kind of thing, even though that sounds like the most logical, I don't think that's the one we should go with.
No, I think we'd have a hard
Why
time.
don't you bring us a business model sample to look at?
so would you be interested in working like a business model where everybody pays X dollars a month, everybody? But non-county folks pay a little bit more,
Only if they use it,
only if they use it. It's a pure user fee.
or you don't want anything to use it.
Not for county people, I think.
Yeah,
But, I mean, I wouldn't mind taking it, if you bring that back as so I can have a little more information, look into a business model. I mean, I really do feel that we should allow our county people to use it, but.
At no
I
charge.
think
No
one or
charge.
two, one or two, and then maybe the third one is no fee at all to county people except for the extras and,
So basically, that, like, since you pay, if you're a property owner, you pay county taxes, you can walk in there, no membership, maybe show some identification. And anybody outside the county will pay a daily fee of X dollars.
Mhm.
So owners, property owners, go in free, non-property owners have to pay a daily fee, and specialized classes and room rentals and birthday parties are always at a fee.
Oh, yeah.
and then you would have to do something for people that are not tax-paying residents, but renters.
Well, your driver's license, if they drive, or some kind of ID, is gonna have your physical address on
Yeah.
it.
And then, just to make sure we would look at it, it would be the entire family
Yeah,
that did that, so.
The entire family under roof.
Under the same one.
Under the same roof.
Yeah.
And I think, just like in college, even though your daughter or son might be 27 living under your same roof, they're, they're out on their adult. You
Oh,
know,
maybe
you know,
it's an
they have,
age.
right, they have to have their own insurance, it doesn't matter if they still live with you. You know, there's a cutoff, like even in college. You know, I forget, I think it's 26.
26.
I think it's 26, because my youngest daughter will come off us in January.
So Randy needs to, so Randy can come
How
up with
about, how about
something.
I craft up a half a page document that has the premise of, if you're a county taxpayer, there's no charge to walk in the community center.
Not taxpayer.
Hmm?
And everybody pays
Resident.
taxes.
Right.
If you're a county resident,
There you go.
and, you can walk in for no fee, use all the facilities. If you're a non-resident, you pay a daily fee of X per day. Up to a family of X. All the specialized classes are for a fee. Maybe non-county pays a higher fee. Something like that. Let me craft up a simple document that me and some folks of mine will sit on the table and theorize all the unintended consequences and anything that could be asked, and jot that down, and have maybe half a page versus 2 pages.
That's,
Okay.
We'll have that in the
We got
next
5
2
minutes.
Hurry up,
weeks.
5
We got
minutes.
5 minutes for 2 more subjects. Number 6, the short-term vacation rentals. I'm hearing from a lot of people and around the Pine Mountain area especially, that this is becoming a real problem, Airbnbs and whatever else. So Nancy has attached, go ahead.
There are 2 ordinances, 2 drafts attached. One is based on the Forsyth County ordinance that Becky gave me. It's really short. It talks about special use permits, which we already have in place. It would be a very simple process. The other one's based on Savannah's, and it's more in-depth and more time-consuming. So if y'all would just sort of kind of look at those and say, let's go, let's move forward with this, or let's not move forward with this, and we can try to get it moved through the
Well, I think
process
it
quickly.
would serve as a means also of helping us capture taxes.
Oh, yes,
which we
yes,
don't get
that's
on
the
that now.
issue.
And going through the special use permit will give us that
That
is
information.
The issue that's being
Yeah.
shared with me. Yeah.
I've read through these
Yeah.
briefly, I wanna go it again, but after reading, I would say the first, the
Forsyth.
second one is probably
Yes.
the best for us, although we may wanna tweak it a little bit.
Okay, yeah, and so I can get started on that, and we can start the
And
process.
I'll be
so-
honest, I haven't read through either one.
Okay, but everybody let me know, Harry's gonna be
I
here.
didn't do it till
Yeah,
after lunch today.
yeah,
Okay.
I just taken that time, I just sent it to Nancy and said, here's the one from Forsyth.
Yep, it is very simple and easy.
Yeah.
All right, last thing on there is your recognition stuff again.
Yeah, we've got to do something.
Okay.
Look, we've gone, I brought this up in January, and now we're in November.
Okay, I asked the department heads multiple times in staff
Yeah,
meetings.
he has.
It is 100%, nobody is interested. No
Okay.
department head,
okay.
all of them, all 15 of them, 100%.
Yes.
120% do not want an employee recognition program.
Okay.
They don't want names in a hat, they don't want a piece of paper,
They don't want
a pen.
anything.
They don't want anything, but no, they do want one thing,
Oh,
they want one thing.
Monies.
What's that?
They
Salary.
want the county to spend a great deal of time on that employee compensation plan and get it right. And once and for
I
all.
believe that.
Instead of little papers and
I
pens,
believe that.
they want to focus on that and get it right, no matter what the cost is to get it right. That's their thing.
I believe that.
But, okay,
And to follow through with it.
yes,
Well, that's
And
my
fun.
number one thing.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's, they don't want the other.
okay. But I wanna throw out something that County Manager Randy Dowling is throwing out for employee appreciation for 2019. Okay? Christmas Eve is on a Tuesday. Christmas Day is on a Wednesday. Why not give this one-time shot Monday the 23rd as an extra county paid holiday, just like all the other 10. One-time shot.
Monday, and when is Christmas? I don't even know.
Monday the
Christmas Day.
23rd.
Christmas is on Wednesday.
No, so we get off Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah,
But why not give everybody
Wanna
off
give them Monday we
as a
appreciate
one-time
you.
Yeah.
shot appreciation paid holiday? one-time shot, not to be repeated.
Not to do it next year.
Only if the board concurs to do it next year.
Right.
One-time shot, paid holiday, right now we get 10, plus the employee, birthday is another holiday, that's 11. This would be number 12 for 2019, and 2019 only.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna tell you what I have caught every year I've been a commissioner, a lot of grief about is Veterans Day.
Veterans Day. And
Well, basically it's Veterans Day,
What's it-
why we
what's it-
don't allow our,
what's
why
it
we,
Easter?
why our employees, and of course, that's a federal holiday.
And it's, I think it's state too.
And I went into an office downtown that Friday before, and I said, well, y'all got a long weekend, what are you talking about? See, so not everybody
No, not everybody has it.
observes it.
No, the school had never observed it.
No, they haven't.
you did this?
No, the
Teachers had to work.
were.
Oh, teachers had to, yeah.
Teachers
Kids
were.
did. I like that idea, Randy.
One-time shot.
Because I think, like I said, I just think we need to do something. I came up and said with the certificate or whatever, just because it was something.
Now, the only
I like
thing, we
that.
need to put it on the website,
Oh,
why we're doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We, as an appreciation to our employees.
Yep.
Because if not, you're gonna get 50 calls.
Is
Sure.
that gonna be considered a gratuity?
no,
No.
it'll be, we do 10 of these, this will be number 11. Simple as that. Keep it real simple.
For this year.
For this year only.
The
That
commission,
one day, Monday, December 23rd.
in the few instances in the past when the commissioners have approved a dollar amount based on years of service or whatever it was, that was not considered a gratuity.
I don't have a problem.
But I like that
Okay.
because, to me, we're recognizing, we appreciate them. We're giving them that Monday because, you're gonna come work Monday, then you're gonna be off Tuesday,
Right.
Wednesday anyway.
Everybody's gonna take off Monday anyway, for
Does that-
vacation time.
And
Or if
everybody
they work-
gets the same thing.
And it goes for everybody and that way, I like that.
Let me bring up one more thing real quick that I would like to do.
Okay, so we're gonna go with 12/23, right?
Yep, sounds
Okay.
great.
Okay, hang on. Is that a consensus? Should the board vote on it December 3rd? How
Whatever
official do
we
you wanna
have to
make
I
it?
think we need to vote on it.
Officially, we can do it on the 23rd.
Okay,
Yeah, let's do that.
but we won't roll it out
Third.
until the 3rd.
Right,
Okay.
Yes.
okay.
It's rolled out.
I know, you don't see it, but anyway, go ahead, Andrew.
Well, we could vote
So-
it down, so it's not rolled out yet. It's
We will
considered.
consider it December
Out,
3rd.
out at our industrial park, we just spent $30,000 mulching this property. I talked to some guys on the Development Authority 8 months ago. While we're doing this, let's go ahead and advertise it, let's make a video, work on the website, do something, so now people know we've got this out there. So I think they have a proposal.
The development
The
authority.
Development Authority.
Authority has a proposal.
Yes.
I think it would be a wise, their proposal right now. Now, we may need more
Same
proposals.
concern I have, don't you?
Yeah, they have a proposal. Go ahead, I'll let you finish.
And maybe they need more, but we need to do something. It was like a $3,500 proposal.
Right, but the
10% of what?
But the problem with that, it was the relative of one of the
Correct.
development
That's
authority.
my-
Right, right.
It's, you're running into the ethic
But we
category.
still,
But we
okay,
discussed,
so they can go after another
at the
one.
development authority, they discussed that.
But by waiting so long, I feel like we've shot ourselves in the foot. We spent
They
$30,000.
didn't have meetings, they missed 2 or 3 meetings in there. And when the guy finally, when they did have one, he went in there to discuss it. But anyway,
Okay.
they're going another route, trying to get
I feel like we need to do
donations to-
something. I
to
mean,
do
the
it.
economy's been great. Now
Sure.
we're getting close to an election. Things typically slow down during
Mm-hmm.
elections, so we've lost
I agree,
8 months
They-
worth of advertising.
we did a lot of work out there, we need to
That
advertise.
advertisement is out there forever.
They're working on a way
It's
to
not
do
gonna
it
expire
without
without
having
waiting.
to.
So they
go
are
through-
working on it.
Yes, without having to go through the county to do it.
Okay.
Because if they go through the
I
county,
want-
we have to get those proposal guidelines, so.
I also
Except we need
want
a light
us
of fire
to have a
somewhere.
plan for beautification of the entrances of that.
And I talked to John Brick, and he knows a lot about herbicides. And, I mentioned earlier, before we did that project, after a certain amount of time, we need to go out there and, spray everything, just to prevent any trees from coming back. But I think we have until, that needs to be done sometime in July, so maybe we need to look at.
And don't forget, as far as beautification, and I agree, we need to do something. Ernest Kuhn, years ago, drew up a plan for each one of the entrances that used drought resistant, and easy to maintain areas, and he certainly, as he indicated, I talked to him about a month ago, and he would certainly be willing to kind of update that.
I was gonna say, I'm
Then we-
sure Ernie's still
we-
around his plan.
We would have to, spend the money or whatever to do it, but it's something we do need to look at.
Well, and
and
Dwayne
address.
Fears' landscaping stuff is right there on the same road I mean, we got, I think, and Ernest, you're right, Ernest, if he did that plan then, he still got it.
I've got a copy of it, frankly, I've still
I
got
just
one.
think we need to do something.
I got
I mean,
one
if I were a
tiny thing.
business, I
One
would
tiny
think
thing.
twice before I
Okay,
locate.
you know, the trail ceremony, which I think was really great this afternoon,
I like the drone.
City of Pine Mountain.
Yeah, I like that drone, that was a good idea.
$4,000.
What?
The drone that
The
took.
drone.
You didn't see
You
it?
filmed it?
drone.
I thought
No,
that
didn't
drone
see
was
it. I
good.
was talking to
Okay,
people.
okay, right now, you know what people have said to me, there's a common theme now. Railroad Recreation Trail,
Yeah.
what government bureaucrat named that?
The Board of
You
Commissioners,
know,
when
okay,
they
so,
put the
I
ordinance
said, it's a
together.
government name, can we change that name? I said, well, like, what would you wanna change it to? Well, let's have a contest. I said, okay, I said, well, what would be a name? Several people independently of each other told me, what about Man o' War Trail? You know, the Man o' War, that's the
Somebody
locomotive
mentioned
type?
that to me one
So
time
is
too,
there
I
any
don't remember
interest, so
what.
I'm starting to make signs, permanent signs, because what we have up there was temporary. Because we're looking at it, making a few changes here, a few changes there, getting some feedback. Before I start making, that sign there was $100. Before I start making the $600 and $700 signs, permanent and metal, is there any interest in changing the railroad or recreation
It
trail
doesn't matter
to
to
something else?
That's
All right,
not
this-
I
something.
love the Man of War trail. I
Did the
think-
Man of War actually come down that train?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, if he did, I mean, I think that's a good
And
idea.
I would,
Whatever.
It was
I would
Columbus,
bet we could
Atlanta.
get a, historic marker that says Man of War to explain why it's called Man of War.
And that's coming.
That would definitely.
There was
Yeah,
another
that's coming.
sign that's there now.
Says the
Didn't
Iron
mention
Horse.
Man of War, it was something else.
Iron Horse.
But it's the Iron Horse, the Iron Horse. And that historical marker is already there.
That's there.
The Iron
That
Horse
was-
Trail.
That was on the other side of where we were today, the
Which is
Iron
what
Horse.
which is
Yeah, it
what
was
a-
just down from
train
where
was.
we.
Like, I made the comment, too bad we didn't do it over there where the marker actually said the Iron Horse right
Mhm.
here. But I mean, I thought everything went great
Iron
today.
Horse or Man of War, either one of those I would.
Yeah,
I would
Let
love.
me
I
say
agree.
it's a trademark.
give it a good.
I kinda like the Iron Horse because it's already on the marker. But I'm okay with the Man of War too.
Either one, yeah,
Yeah.
I
How
agree.
about the Iron Horse Man of War Trail?
Whatever y'all
Right.
want to call it. Vote on December 3rd,
Yeah, well, okay,
if we gotta vote on it.
okay. Hit
We
up,
might need to do a little research, make sure.
yeah,
But I'm
make sure that's copyrighted presidents and.
we're not, we haven't adjourned, but some of us are putting our
Yeah.
coats on.
We need to adjourn, yes.